I'm here with David Warm from Platform Computing. David, are you a speaker today? Can you tell us a little bit about the panel that you were on?
Sure, thanks, Emily. Yes, I was on a panel today. We were talking about cloud computing, no surprise. It's a very hot topic. There's a lot of hype about it. People are trying to figure out, how do I get started in cloud computing? What are all the issues around it? Is it only about cost? Is it about utilization? And it was a very, very good discussion. I mean, we had a very good panel, very good people from Merrill Lynch, from a consulting company, from another capital equity company, so very good.
So what is your definition of the cloud?
So cloud computing is, I think the simplest way to think of it is in terms of the three kind of services that you can get out of cloud. So there's software as a service, which is always talked about in terms of Salesforce.com. It's really like the ASP model they used to refer to it as. You have platform as a service, which is more like the Google Apps Engine model, where you're actually building something in the cloud, developing it in the cloud, and then using it in that same cloud context. And then there's the more general infrastructure as a service, which is what Platform as a company is more involved in, where we're trying to allow you to use all your resources that you have in your data center, which if it's in your own data center is referred to as private cloud as opposed to public cloud like Amazon. And we're trying to basically help you with the utilization, with saving money, and basically you already have all these resources. Why are you going to go to an external cloud when you can utilize them better?
So you're basically helping people build out their own internal clouds, or grids, I guess would be this. Is that another word for it, or is it different?
I'm actually glad you brought that up. A lot of people are confused in the industry, especially if they're not familiar with grid, or what's also commonly referred to as HPC computing. So grid computing is about dynamic sharing of resources, but it's for a different purpose. It's generally compute-intensive types of applications that need to be able to run very quickly, and what we do is we have a workload engine as part of our Platform Symphony product, which allows you to go ahead and to run many, many different tasks all simultaneously in order to get a result back quicker. That's grid. Cloud is open to a much broader area of applications, and it's much easier to run pretty much anything in the cloud, although there are certain apps that have issues regarding locality, as far as, for example, if you had an application that needs to be close to some source of data, then cloud may not be the easiest thing to use it for. But we find that most firms are starting with dev test environments where there's not so much criticality. It's not like a mission critical app. It's a very low risk application where you can basically test out, get your feet wet in cloud, if you will, and see what applications are the best for you to start off with in cloud.
I think one of the topics in the panel that you were speaking on today, there was talk of, you've got the difference between the pure consumer clouds like the Amazon, the Google ones, and then the internal clouds that some financial services firms are developing. What about like a dedicated financial services cloud? Is there a demand for that, and do you see that sort of becoming a reality anytime soon?
That's a very good question. I think that, as you said today, we touched on, for example, Amazon as a compute cloud, and it's really about compute, right? It's about just lowering your cost of computing. I think that clouds will evolve into services. Okay, so like we talked about the stack before of software as a service and platform as a service. I think that infrastructure as a service is more about the infrastructure and just managing the infrastructure. You really need to build things on top of infrastructure as a service, and what those things are software, basically, right? So there's some kind of services that will deliver an actual business application to you, and those could be something like a shared market data service cloud, if you will, where if people put the right amount of security, the right amount of network capability and bandwidth available, so that it actually meets the business needs that people need it for, then using external cloud services will be very popular, I think. I think that will drive adoption of external clouds.
All right, David, thank you very much for your time.